Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Pedro and Hannibal podcast. My name is Hannibal, and I'm with my good Wednesday night buddy, partner, person. His name is Pedro. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. We had a good conversation before we started. I don't think we're able to say everything I wanted to. Actually, I probably will say it. It probably won't be in the same way I said it in the green room, if you want to call it that. But we have a lot to talk about. We got a little bit of, I don't know if an album review, but some tracks we enjoy from this particular artist. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about Lizzo versus Aries Spears. I'm sure you guys are familiar with that. If not, don't worry. We'll keep you up to speed after the video on that. And we're going to be talking about two content creators, YouTubers, but more like two content creators that I think a lot of people would probably accuse them of being scammers or being grifters. Ones that you guys, if you're on YouTube, it doesn't really matter. I think TikTok, they're all over the place.
Everywhere.
You would know these two. We're going to talk about that, get in depth, but really, some varying opinions on some of these content creators between me and Pedro. So we're going to have a good time with that. But first,
stick around, y'all, because I think me and Hannibal we're gonna test our friendship tonight. We're gonna see how strong our friendship is.
Every episode's a test because you don't respect my Brooklyn Nets, but we're not going to talk about Brooklyn Nets right now. Let's talk about what we listen to. This is hip hop based. We're going to be all over the place, but it's a hip hop based podcast, right? So, DJ Khaled, we the best. Do he still say that?
We the best. Yeah.
We the best. He dropped an album, God Did. And you told me about this album. You were listening to it. So tell me about what you enjoy, what you didn't enjoy. Tell me all about it.
Yeah. So I'm not like DJ Khaled's a producer. He's a celebrity. He's a personality. I'm not like a big fan. I don't have any of his albums or whatever music's on my list, but I had heard that Jay-Z dropped this verse. The verse was kind of going viral, and he talks about how many billionaires he's got under his tree. So I did like a Google search. I was like, oh, this is on the Khaled album. So I listened to that song. It's the second track, God Did. And listen, I'm going to say it right now. It's a good track. I've been listening to it a lot this couple weeks, last week. And then the second track after that, it's got Eminem and Kanye on it.
Interesting mix.
Yeah, interesting mix. So I've only listened to 4 or 5 songs in the album. There's some in there I just can't vibe with. But those 2 songs in particular, they got some of my favorite MCs. I like them. I think the God Did track is one of the best tracks I've heard this year, in my opinion. It has a lot of things I like in it. Jay-Z's, he went super mode, man. Very long song. If anything, maybe we don't need the whole second verse, but Jay-Z, in my opinion, is tip-top form in that verse. I haven't heard Jay like that in a while. So, yeah, I mean, it's good. I mean, I think we've had a little run here the last couple of months. We're hearing some good music, some good tracks, Logic, The Game, Kendrick Lamar, we've got a Pusha T, a couple of tracks on this album. So I can't stop listening to that song. I've been dissecting it. I think it's my favorite song so far this year. God Did on DJ Khaled. Check it out. Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting about DJ Khaled because I still don't know what he does. Like, I don't get it in terms of you say he's a producer. He does produce. Does he makes the beats? How does he just pays for everything? Like, I've heard that. Like, he basically pays for all this to put together, and then he puts this album out. It's just something about him as an artist. Is he it's just a little weird to me. I don't know. Is it like a P. Diddy kind of thing, like a Puff Daddy, where he just bring random? And this album has all A-listers. There's no everyone A-listers.
Pretty. He's known for that, though. He's known for that. That's what he does. He makes music with the most kind of like the hot people, and then the legends. I think he made a good point. He's like the new Puff Daddy a little bit. He's a celebrity more than he is an artist, in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
And Puffy was a great producer back in the day. Like, Puffy, he produced some good stuff.
He knew how to get the best producers, and he was able to get those samples pulled out. And so I listened to a few tracks. Yeah, God Did definitely, Jay-Z. I love the fact that Jay-Z and Nas, old men, are still out rapping everybody else.
Facts.
I want to hear more about it. I hope Jay-Z comes out with his whole album. He's a billionaire. He doesn't need to rap anymore. I think Nas has a lot of money. These are successful men that don't need to rap at all, but they still have such a high level of skill. They mastered this. So I hope they come on. So yeah, I did like that track. He went like 4 minutes. It seemed like he was in there for a minute, just to show. And then Lil Wayne track was good too. He didn't go long. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
But in terms of like the rest of the album, and again, I didn't listen to everything. It's something about the DJ Khaled albums. He'll get like 2 or 3 really good songs, but nothing really is like rememberable. Like it's nothing that, okay, I'm gonna listen to this. Maybe God did probably, but majority of the tracks he produces, he puts out, after a few years, it just goes away. I don't know. And he brings in Future. He's gonna bring Rick Ross.
It's club bangers. He's making music for clubs, bumping in your car. That's what. But they don't, like you said, they don't last more than that summer or that whatever, a year maybe if it's a top hit. But this God did. I think this one's.
You think it's gonna carry on?
That's a track, man. I really like that song. I don't know. Jay-Z just came out hot, and I haven't heard him like that in a long time, and I enjoyed it because I think he was just letting people know. He sits back. He's still been making some music, but like he was letting everybody know, like, I'm that guy. Like everybody else, just sit down for a second. Let me remind y'all.
Yeah, there's a massive
what I've done. Yes, what I've done in music. But then the major stunt and the big flex is look at the people that I had under me that have now either surpassed me or with me, and I think that's a big flex. I like it.
And I give that more to Jay-Z as an artist. But going back to DJ Khaled, like just the music is for the clubs. Those songs are gonna be playing in clubs. They're gonna play in those areas. Good mixes. You can put that in radio play. Like he does that, and maybe that's what he makes his music for, or creates it, whatever you want to call it. But I just feel like the staying power of his music. He brings a lot of people in. I don't know if there's much of a cohesive reason for this out, you know what I mean? Like, and maybe I'm being a little bit too snobby with it, but like you love Kendrick Lamar's album, right? The last one, it was based on a theme or something. Like a J. Cole album, it's a theme. There's a reason why all these songs are kind of coming together. DJ Khaled just seems like mixtape. I'm gonna bring the best rappers. It's kind of feel like when you have a super team for NBA, you just throw all these really good players in there, and we'll see if it works.
You mean like your Brooklyn? You mean like your Brooklyn Nets?
No, they're friends, so it's different. Pedro, or they hung out. You didn't see them hang out with the Travis Scott concert.
I don't know. You just left that one hanging for me. I had to say it.
I just let that kind of mess up. But
you put it on a tee for me.
But I feel like it's just not the same. But this song God Dad's gonna carry, and that's what you need. You didn't need 1, 2 really good tracks to carry on. I would say check it out. If you like the artists, they're gonna be there, right? You like Future, Lil Baby. They got Kanye and Eminem, which is a really. I think you liked it. It seemed a little weird to me. I don't know if Ye produced that beat. I don't know. Like I wouldn't put Eminem and Kanye in the same song.
Yeah,
in terms
it was definitely different.
Yeah,
and to hear Eminem rapping about Jesus was like, what? You know what I mean? It was different, right?
That was weird.
It was weird, but it's those 2 songs together kind of flow together a little bit for me. So maybe that's why I like them. But overall, it's a solid few tracks, but I can't listen to the whole thing because it's just too much DJ Khaled. We the best. It's like it's annoying to me.
He's a character. I mean, I think he single-handedly helped Snapchat get on the map. I mean, that's when he was on Snapchat every 5 seconds posting just stuff about God, and he seemed like a cool dude. Seemed like a nice guy. His character.
Yeah, probably a dude that you could totally have a good time with. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
The only thing I don't agree with him, he said he doesn't go down on his chick. And I don't 100% do not follow that philosophy. Look it up, he said it. I don't know who he think he is. I don't know who he thinks he is.
I mean, he's DJ Khaled.
He ain't. You need to go down on his chick. But that's totally irrelevant from this conversation.
Maybe that's a conversation we can have next week.
We're gonna talk about it. We'll give you some tips. We got some tips if you guys are interested. Put in the comments below if you want some tips on that. Garden State comes in with producer comes up with the ideas for the songs. Producer gets mixed up with DJs and beat makers these days. Yeah, you know what? And I gotta do a little bit more research on the names and what exactly. Yeah, DJ, producer, those are 2 different things. I mean, I'm sure some DJs do produce.
Sure.
DJ Premier, right? Like I'm sure, but most DJs, I would say most of them just get a good collection of songs and they know exactly how to put. And listen, DJs are very important, are very, very important. When you got a great DJ at a club, a party, it's next level to someone who don't know what they're doing. But producer, that's a whole different idea.
It's a whole nother way of. They're very different. They can be similar, or they can do this. Like a DJ can be producer can DJ. But at the end of the day, like they're different. They're different tools in the hip hop bag. You know what I mean? And they each provide a different type of a different level of importance. You know?
Yeah, it's like an ecosystem. Like you need them all there to come together. And I agree with Garden State. Yeah, that's what his strong suit. He's gonna bring the strongest, hottest rappers. They all go into his projects all the time. So he must have great relationships with these people. Like I said, he seems like a cool dude. Like it seems like a guy you would want to hang out with. And Pia came in with a really good comment. He is selfish. Exactly. He is selfish. He's a great guy, but he don't go down on his chick. So that's one strike against him. And Hannibal's and Pedro's book.
Facts. I wasn't gonna say it, but yeah.
All right, we got to really plan our philosophy down, right?
Listen, if what I've learned with women in relationships, I've made a shit ton of mistakes, Hannibal and everybody, right? But if you want to be have less stress in your life, if you want to be I'll start with that. You got to make sure your lady is feeling loved and taken care of, right? And if you do that, and she's a good woman, she'll do anything for you. She'll move mountains for you. And part of that is making sure she's taken care of.
That's a very nice PG way of saying it.
Yes.
Y'all let you be. Y'all.
Go down your chick.
All right. Anything else you want to? Oh yeah, the Jadakiss interlude track.
Fire. That's fire, man.
That's Jadakiss had the resurgence in his career with the versus battle with him versus Dipset. And Dipset clearly did not put effort into. They didn't take it that seriously because but
Jadakiss is an MC. He's an MC. You know what I mean?
Like can rap, but Cameron
he can rap, but
just for some reason he didn't put the effort in. He was just chilling. He's like a retirement thing. Yeah. And the problem is the Locks still make music. They still perform. Yes. So it was like an NBA pickup game, but one team actually still plays a little bit.
Yes, good. That's a great way to say it. And the Locks, like completely underrated, but it brought me back to the late 90s. You know what I'm saying? Like they were still in form.
Love Styles P. She loses I'll pass with him, but J.K. Styles P, they heavy hitters, man. Absolutely. True legends. So I'm happy that again the old guys are still in it. Jadakiss can out rap any new rapper right now. Any rapper that you think is hot right now, he can. It just because he's been putting it for 20 years. 20 plus years. So that's my favorite track. So if you guys want to check out God Did, check out the title track God Did and Jadakiss Interlude. Those are worth you listening to. Jadakiss he's on fire on that one. So there's one jump that I want to jump that in before we move on to the first battle, or one I guess it's a battle, right? Between Lizzo and the comedian Aries Spears. So Aries Spears, he was on Mad TV. I've seen him in some videos and clips. I never seen a full stand-up. Well, he seems like a funny dude. Like I've seen a few tracks, and I wasn't the biggest fan of Mad TV. They had some decent skits, but it was a series that lasted.
He's all right. Years. Yeah, I've seen some of that, but he's okay. Yeah, he's all right.
I'm not gonna watch
I'm not gonna watch a whole comedy special that he does, but he's funny enough.
Maybe after
maybe now, but
maybe now. But he was on a podcast or a YouTube video being interviewed, and someone asked him about Lizzo. Now, I'm sure you guys know who Lizzo is. Songwriter, singer, producer. I think she probably produces. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I'll be completely honest about Lizzo. You asked me to name 3 songs. I cannot help you. Do you know 3 songs?
I know. I can't name them, but I know. Like if I hear it, I know it's her. Does that
I know her voice.
Like she had that one like 4 or 5 years ago that was like, "Men be great." I don't. Anyways,
your lady like that. You lady like that song because I'm sure my lady like that song.
I don't like that song, but it's a hit. It's a hit.
Yeah.
It's a hit. So she's definitely. But you know what? I don't know if y'all know this in the chat or if Hannibal knows this. Do you guys know how Lizzo started? Do you know what she was doing before she blew up? Does anybody? Huh? Hannibal, do you know? So Lizzo was known. She would do little concerts or she would perform, but she was a harmonica. She had like a harmonica kind of deal.
Oh, and she still does that in her sets.
Yes, but that's what kind of like got her. That's what she was known for before she was Lizzo, right? Okay. She was doing that, and it was like so. It was good. It was different. She's a big black woman. She's owning her body, and people like that, and
people do apparently. Yeah,
some people do, some people don't. That's why we're here. We're talking.
That's why we're here. Yeah, she's extremely talented. Can't say that. She can song, she can write, she can perform. She does move a lot in the performance. She puts a lot of effort in the performances. But again, her music is not for me, so that's why it just doesn't. And that's okay too. Like it's not appealing to me. So someone brought up Lizzo to this comedian, and he had a few things to say. I actually have the sound for that. So in case you guys did not know what he said and why a lot of people are really not happy with him, we're going to play it right now.
Yo, you know somebody that actually make good music, man? Lizzo.
Lizzo?
Yeah, bro. Have you heard her shit, yo? Like as a songwriter, yo.
I can't get past the fact that she looks like the shit emoji.
Yo.
Very beautiful girl. She's got a very pretty face. But she keeps showing her body off, nigga. Like, come on, man. Come on, yo. I'm sorry. Listen, I ain't the most in shape nigga in the world. But I still, when you funny and you got swagger and confidence and you decent looking, I think I'm at least handsome, you get pussy. But a woman that's built like a plate of mashed potatoes is in trouble.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry. But musically, yo, she go hard, man. She a good songwriter, though.
Oh, yo, she's dope. Her music hard, her body ain't.
Oh, man.
Uh-oh, here they come. The wall of Braveheart bitches. Like the battle on the field coming over the hills. Are you ready for a war? You can hear the horses thumping on the fucking ground. It's about to, here he come. Who that motherfucker think he is? Be body shaming, fat motherfucker.
Hey, yo. It's another thing, yo.
You know what kills me?
Yo.
Hold on. You know what kills me about women? Is the hypocrisy and the contradiction. Yes, queen, slay, queen. Yes, queen, slay. Yeah, girl, your confidence. Fuck diabetes. Fuck heart problems. Fuck heart disease, cholesterol. Y'all claim womanhood and about sisterhood and support for your sister, when it come to that ridiculous shit. But if you really gave a fuck, why wouldn't you go, black girl, we love you. We love your confidence, boo-boo. But this ain't it. This ain't it. That's the real love. Y'all will jump on me for making jokes, but y'all won't fucking be real and go, sister, put the eclair down. This ain't it. It's treadmill time.
Speaking of that, right, because she does have issues with her weight, right? And it's actually a video online of her crying about being fat shamed. Did you see that video of her crying?
We all do. I do.
But yeah, man, she says she be having an issue, man, with people fat shaming her about her weight and cracking jokes about how big she is.
Well, how you gonna have issues, but at the same time show your whole ass at an NBA game? As comedians, we take what the defense gives us. You don't want to be put out there? Then don't put it out there. And again, I know, listen, I ain't never met a plate of pasta I didn't like. I'm a pasta hooer, nigga. I'm trying. It's an everyday struggle for me. I come from a family where, we drank fried milkshakes.
Fried milkshakes. Woo, what the man. All right, that was
I
a
think
lot.
I,
That was a
I
long. That was a long clip. I'm sorry,
I
guys.
think we're gonna. I think some people gonna hate me tonight, bro. But I gotta say, I'm good. But I'm good with it because I'm gonna speak my truth.
Go ahead, man. Fried milkshakes.
I think we gotta remember two things. One, he's a comedian, right?
Right.
So and obviously some of the things he was saying were funny. Like he's a comedian. Like we got to remember that, right? We got to stop being so sensitive. These are comedians. That's what we like about them. Also, was he all the way wrong with the things he said? No, he's not all the way wrong. Is he being rude? Yeah, he's a comedian. Comedians are rude. If you've ever been to a good comedy show, they're blasting on people in the audience. They're blasting on hot topics, celebrities. I remember when Lizzo did that at the game. She turned around, her whole ass was out.
Yeah, I saw that clip.
And people
I
were
brought it on the thing for you guys.
People were applauding it, right? But if I did that at a basketball game, or if some skinny white girl did it, it wouldn't have been looked at the same way. Facts. Yeah. That's a fact, right? So is Aries Spears being a little bit of an asshole? Yeah, but he's a comedian. What do you expect? And I like Lizzo. I love her confidence. I think I love what she does for. I'm not a woman, so I can't relate. But like she's obviously a smart, intelligent woman. You could tell like she's smart, right? But I don't know. I can't completely disagree with what he's saying.
Well, I think especially at the end when he said, if you really love someone and you see them not healthy, that you would say something and be honest. But it's hard. It's hard to talk to someone that you care about something health related. Yeah. But also, should you celebrate them being half naked when they're not healthy? I mean, again, some people like big women, right? I retired from the big woman game a long time ago. I'm old, my back. I don't.
I didn't know you was a member.
In my younger, stronger days. But in terms of
animals throwing them around, I see. Okay.
Well, but then you got to retire from. At least me, I didn't keep up with my physical prowess. I guess.
Got it.
But Lizzo likes to flaunt it, and what Aries Spears is saying, hey, listen, you flaunted it, so we can make fun of it because you put it out there, right? Every person deserves to walk down the street without being made fun of. Doesn't matter what they look like. But when you're a public person, when you put yourself out there, things are going to happen. We're not public people, but even what we say will be scrutinized. And we're two nobodies, right? Imagine Lizzo. That's why she's going through it. I've seen that clip with her crying. But at the same time, the people who are supporting Lizzo just going after Spears, calling him fat, he's unhealthy, he ain't handsome, his eyes look like raccoon eyes, all these things. But it's kind of weird because I would say if we're accusing someone of being racist, like I see a white guy and he's being racist. If I throw racist attacks at him, is that equal? Or like if we say we should not allow any racism, but if that white guy's racist and I'm racist towards him because he's racist, is that a good idea? So calling him fat and fat shaming him,
same thing. And he already called himself fat and a little bit, and so he was dogging on himself a little bit. And I mean, I remember Adele. Adele was a bigger woman, right? Adele, and she lost weight. She didn't put her body out there like that, so people didn't clown her.
Yeah.
Right. So when you put yourself out there like that in a sexual way, hey, does she look like a plate of mashed potatoes? Some might think that. I don't know. I would never say that because that's rude. But we got to remember, he's a comedian. That's literally what he gets paid to do. So,
and when you are a very famous person, you really should take a really good look of, should I be bothered checking my social media all the time? Because you're going to see things you may not want to see. In terms of the attack, or at least in terms of Adele, you mentioned Adele. A good section of fans were upset that she did lose the weight, and that's weird. And
that is weird. Yeah,
that is weird. I remember
somebody gets healthy and you talk shit and they get healthy. Like that's crazy.
Because the body positive movement is so strong that if Lizzo really said, "Hey, I'm going to lose this weight," because at her, like, first of all, it's not like she's lazy. You can't get to that point of life and not be and be lazy. She's not lazy.
Yeah.
There's certain things that's probably going on with either her health or her diet, where it is her, or she's just comfortable with her size.
But it's genetics too, and and some might say, I'm not necessarily I believe this, but let's say Lizzo loses 100 pounds, it changes her whole dynamic of her celebrity, right? Like
That's what I was saying. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that she's not losing weight for that reason, but what I'm saying is it definitely changes the dynamic, same way it did for Adele. Some people were like, why? You're supposed to be big and beautiful. Like, that's why we love you. Now you're skinny. Like, well, how are you going to hate on somebody for getting healthy? Like,
it's the same person. It's just
the same human being. Yeah.
I think eventually she will lose the weight. As you get older, it's harder to move around being that big. And it's nothing, it's just science. It's physics. It's just how it happens. I would say the fact that when she performs, she's moving.
Yes,
like, she is performing. So again, it's not a bit of laziness, but I will notice that this is another sports analogy, but offensive linemen, or most especially offensive linemen, really big guys, big guys, and they're burning thousands of calories a week, right? Thousands of calories, because they're playing a really physical, violent game. They got to protect the quarterback. They're the line. They hold the line. And they got to eat a lot, right? I remember back in the day, I don't know if they still hitting 400 pounds, but at least 300 pounds. These are big dudes.
Oh, yeah.
Once they stopped playing, and if they continue to eat the way they did when they were playing, they will have a lot of health issues. So they have to change their whole lifestyle to live. You can't eat the same way you ate before unless you're going to still burn those same calories playing football. You're not playing football anymore. So I think as Lizzo gets older, I think she will lose the weight. I think she needs to spend a little bit less time on social media. I think if you get to a certain point in celebrity, everything you do will be scrutinized. Yep. And again, she goes out her way to dress extremely provocatively. Like, all right, it don't matter how you look. No woman, in my opinion, should go to a family event like a sports game and wear that outfit. I don't care how fine you are. You could be fine. That is inappropriate. There's kids around. Why your whole ass is out? Even if you Nicki Minaj, yes, we would enjoy it. We were looking at it. I'll look at it later. Save it on my phone. Yeah, I will do all those things. I'm a pervert. But if I'm bringing my kids to an NBA game, why are you doing that? Like, no ashless chaps on a guy. Nobody should be. We're watching basketball here. This is not a concert. This is not a venue for you to wear that. So it's certain things that I think Lizzo brings on herself. So it's like if you're gonna go all positive, body positive, then go all in, knowing that you're gonna get pushback. You can't just take the good and not want the bad. So
I agree, 100%.
Yeah. In terms of Aries Spears, I'm gonna check him out. Hopefully, he makes me laugh more than that. I mean, they were funny.
It was a funny couple minutes. Yeah, I mean, I was laughing. I mean, I think the chat was laughing. He didn't say anything that was untrue. Yeah, and just because we're going to talk about AllinWithAri in a moment, and Andrew Tate, people that are getting canceled, trying to get canceled. People are railing on these individuals for various reasons, right or wrong. Yeah. But we're in a time where even comedians, somebody said in the chat earlier, man, it's hard to be a comedian nowadays.
Yeah. Shout out to Bobby.
People need to like calm down a little bit. Everybody's super sensitive. And like, there are things that I think that if they are said, we should be like, hold up, that is wrong. Right.
Yeah.
That's wrong. But like, some things are, when they're said, they're truths, and people don't like the truth. Like when we hear the truth about ourselves or a group of people that we vibe with, we take offense and we get defensive, and then we get emotional. When it was like, hold up, that's the truth though. Like if you're fat, you're fat. All right, I'm not saying Lizzo in particular, but we're talking about like weight, right? So like, I got a friend, one of my best friends, known him since 7th grade. Big dude, always been big, right? And he knows it. So like, I try to tell him, hey, you got to start eating better. Like we've had numerous conversations, and nothing will ever change because he just, he's not there yet, right? But like, just because I say that, some would say, man, you're being rude. You got to help your friend. Well, I don't want to see my friend die, right? So like, the truth hurts, right? And I think we need to like take the sensitivity meter and stop messing with it so much. And we got to start like having like conversations and put the feelings to the side and deal into reality.
Yeah.
And I don't think what he was saying was wrong. Like, I just don't. So.
Yeah. Got to see with a comment. Yeah. Unfortunately, we live in times where people are too serious and don't like to joke around as much. Yeah. I mean, Dave Chappelle, a lot of his stuff has been, a lot of his work has been scrutinized more now. I mean, I tell you, one of my favorite sitcoms, I talked about this, I guess another stream somewhere else, that one of my favorite sitcoms of all time is Married with Children. And Al Bundy drops fat jokes all the time in that show.
Yeah.
He's a shoe salesman. He hates his life. His wife doesn't appreciate him. His kids doesn't appreciate him. He goes to women's shoe store, and big women are trying to put on shoes they can't fit. And he hates his life. Like, it's a whole parody on himself. But I would say that show cannot be made right now.
No, there's so many shows that couldn't.
At all. And because that we're becoming so sensitive. But understand, there's certain things we should be more sensitive. I was watching something, I think it was one of those dark times of the 90s or something like that. I forgot the name of someone in the chat may know. Where they were talking about the dark times of the 90s. And they were talking about the talk shows, the Jerry Springers, the Jenny Jones,
yeah.
Some of the stuff that especially what's that? Springfield. The one with it was fights every show they were fighting.
Jerry Springer. Yeah.
Some of the episodes that he was doing was so outrageous. It was like, I think that's why I think the pendulum went to the other side. I was looking at it and I'm like, yeah, we went too far. I mean, he had an episode where a dude married a horse.
That show was trash. And I've even heard after that Jerry Springer hated even doing them because he was in real life supposedly a really nice kind of chill dude.
He was actually a politician.
But he's a smart guy. The ratings were so good and the money was good that he was like, I just got to do this, whatever. But yeah, that show was trash. I mean, that show was bad.
It was bad. And it was so outrageous. I mean, Jenny Jones, a guest died because they did some weird segment where they did your secret crush, and it was another guy that was gay, but the other guy clearly was not. He wasn't interested in being, I guess, brought all the way to a show, being on national television, being courted by another guy. That guy killed him. The one that, so it's like, we went kind of far, but then I think we were going a little bit too far on the other end where every little thing is offensive. So
yeah.
Jokes are jokes. You don't have to like every joke. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, I see Lizzo. I think she won an award and she kind of said a little bit more about it. But
good for her. She deserved. I don't even know what award she won, but I'm sure she deserves.
She's talented. So, I mean, again, it's not for us, me and you, but I think eventually she will lose the weight. But it gotta be on your own, like you said. She gotta recognize it in her own terms, and get off the internet. You're gonna see some stuff you're not gonna like. So I don't know.
Yep.
But let's move on. I'll give you the choice. Do you want to talk about All In, or
let's talk about All In? We'll keep it not too long. I know Pia wanted to. Okay, so let me. For those of you that don't know, there's a woman on YouTube that I would say about a month ago, she came into my YouTube feed, and I remember I went live one night. And I was like, man, this woman AllinWithAri, she's going viral. At that point, I think she had 30 or 40 or 50,000 subs in 3 weeks, which on YouTube is unheard of, right?
Yeah.
And she was gaining traction, and she's a young, cute girl, homeless in her car. And she's making these videos about being homeless, and she's, living in her car on faith, and she's struggling, and she wants to share her story. And, a lot of people gravitated towards that for two reasons. One, the homeless in your car, that's actually a community in YouTube. Look it up. It's a niche in YouTube, right?
Yeah.
There are a lot of women and men that talk about they vlog and they're homeless in their car, and some are legit and some aren't. So that's the thing. Two, she's cute. So, when men see a thumbnail of a cute girl, we click.
Yeah.
Point blank, period. We're gross. We're disgusting.
I'm a filthy person, man.
That's what I'm just speaking for. I'm speaking for 99% of dudes. We see a cute girl, we click. We want to see what she has to say. It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So she's going viral. She's getting crazy views, and it came out that a lot of people are like, what's going on? Like, is she scamming people? Because then after a few videos, apparently what she did was she put in like a Cash App and a Patreon, and because people were sending comments, how can I help you? I want to help you. So then she put in Patreon.
They want to help her, right?
They want to help her, yeah. So people were sending her money, and who knows how much she made? It's a lot. And she got monetized. So now she's, then she starts making videos about trying to buy a Mercedes van, and she's spending a night in a hotel, and then the hate comes, right? The hate just comes, right? And they're like, she's fake. She's scamming people. She's taking advantage. She's a narcissist. And before you know it, like hundreds of channels are making content about her and calling her out. Then a couple weeks pass, and it's like, oh, she's got these kids. She's not taking care of her kids, and she's a criminal, and like mugshots show up. And I think it's hilarious for two reasons. One, YouTube is a great place to learn things and get entertainment. I love YouTube. Absolutely love it. I don't even watch TV. I watch YouTube. But it's also a place where people will tear somebody down. The second they find out a problem that you've had, the second that there's jealousy, whatever, they're quick to tear you down, right? And I think like this woman's getting an immense amount of hate, and most would say 90% would say rightfully so. I look at it two ways. I look at it one way. I think there's a lot of people that say she's a complete scam artist. She set this up from the beginning. She just wants money. She's lying about everything, right? There are a lot of people that think that, right? She's just taking advantage of people, and she's not really homeless. And then there are some that think that she is homeless and they send her money, whatever. I have no freaking idea what this woman's doing. And I'll say this, if she's scamming everybody, she's one of the smartest human beings to ever come up with a YouTube channel. Because by my calculations, she's probably made in the last month $100,000. So if she's that smart to fool that many people, I don't even know. Like, I think she's somebody that wants to be famous, has made some mistakes. I think she was living in her car at some point. People sent her money. And I think any human being that is living in their car, if you start getting money, aren't you going to get a hotel? Isn't that what homeless people do? So I don't understand like all the drama. And a lot of people have made channels that are now monetized because they talk about her. So the hypocrisy is also kind of running rampant, in my opinion. I think it's hilarious. I think she's laughing at everybody, and she's laughing to the bank. And I think it's hilarious. That's my opinion.
So let me I'm in case anyone who doesn't know anything about what we're saying, I got a little
I know I just rambled, but go ahead and Hannibal though.
Yeah, a little clip of her viral first video, which is very interesting and odd that YouTube let this video go viral in the first place. But you'll see in a few seconds why, probably.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna jump right into it. My name is Ariana, and I am homeless. I will be 32 this Monday, the 25th of July, and I won't be celebrating. I don't have any family or friends. I do have a full-time job, and I live in my car, and I have lived in my car for the...
Oh, sorry, but that's basically it. That's you got to get the gist. The problem page row is what she just said. I have no family. Well, apparently she does have a family. She has a kid, problem. And it looks, first of all, her name is not accurate. But again, YouTube, you may want to change your name. But if you're one moment expressing yourself in a somewhat honest way, and you tell us your name is Ariana, but it's really Ronnie, which is a very weird name.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, Ronnie. Having a criminal record, having a son that you looks like, if a woman is first of all, another thing too, it looks like she abandoned her child, because if you have a child, it's easier to get into a shelter with a kid. It's really hard to be homeless with a small child. Just let you know. So the problem is, it looks like it's probably a plan. I'm going to gain some sympathy. Let's see how far I can go with this. Did she plan to get this much support this quickly? Probably not.
Probably not.
But the problem is with the internet, people will investigate stuff. There's tons of internet sleuths around. They will find something. And actually, we have a friend, mutual friend named Holly, dropped a lot of videos. I'm gonna put the link to a lot of her videos.
I think the only reason Holly found out about her was because I shot it. Maybe part of it was because I shot her, Ariana or Ronnie. I shouted her out on a live I did on another channel I have a month ago, and she actually came into the live and said, "Thanks for shouting me out, Pedro," and then she like bounced. It was weird, and I think Holly might have caught wind of it there, and then Holly's been going ham on her, which good for Holly.
Yeah, so Holly does videos on the gig economy, but her videos breaking down some of the stuff that apparently the ex-boyfriend or the ex-husband have said that she's been scamming for the longest about her upbringing. She did not live in the homeless situation. She lived in a nice house, a grandfather who took care of her. It seemed like this person ain't abandoning her child and may have been in a situation where this child's skull was fractured at one point.
Oh, I didn't.
A lot of speculation.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation. She does have mugshots. The problem is,
I see.
Yeah,
it was not. I'm just saying Holly's part of our community on a different channel, so I think maybe she might have caught wind of it.
Yeah, you the reason why it went to 80s was it, how many subscribers she probably has? She's still.
I ain't got that much power, no.
Yeah, but
she got like 87,000 right now.
Yeah. And it just seems like if she was completely honest in that first video, what if she blew up saying, "Yeah, because some people say, well, you abandoned your child, you abandoned your child." Yeah, I think we don't like that, especially with the moms, right? You don't do that. But if she was not a fit mother, she should not be with that child.
And we don't know the whole story either. We don't know the whole story.
You don't know the whole story either.
Let me ask you a question before you continue. Do you think at any point she was living in her car?
No, she's too hot. That's another point I was going to bring up, Pedro. Hot chicks are not homeless, bro. They just not. She is probably. This is my opinion.
You don't think she could have? You don't think she could have left somewhere and wanted to be a nomad, and she's in her car for? It could have been like a week. So I think she's using the word homeless, but she's just in her car, but she's not like homeless on the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like,
true.
That's what I think. I have no idea. But
that whole homeless, I live in a car niche that's on YouTube, I don't like it at all. It's like they're trying to romanticize it. They're trying to make it seem like it's something fun.
I agree. Yeah.
It's disrespectful to people who actually live in their cars. No one wants to live in their car. People, the whole van life, it's all, to me, a bunch of bullshit.
I don't know. I would disagree with that. Some people, the van life, that is a thing. And some people do that. And that's their home, and I think they're very happy. So I would disagree with that on some level. I think some people, I think the van life and the RV life is a big community. Some people do it and they love it. So
I wouldn't mind. I'm not saying RV, sure, but if we are as a society, we can't afford a home. To a point where now we're making videos about enjoying being in a damn van. I want a home. I want a house. You have a house, right? I want a house. I don't want no damn van. We things are so messed up that millennials are just as smart, probably smarter than the generation before. Gen Z, super smart, and we can't afford a home. So now we're in a van, and I guess we're making YouTube videos about it. It's not safe. It's not safe, especially right now, to be in a van living. So I understand what you're saying. Like some people, some people like
to travel. I know a few friends. They actually live that lifestyle. There's a big community of people that do that, and they live in their car, their camper, their RV. It's called RTT or whatever, rooftop tents. Like that is a thing for a lot of people, because for some people, whether they're down and out on their luck or they can't afford a home, that's how they do it. And then they keep their cost of living down. They travel. They're in a new state every day. Like some people like that. Now, I couldn't do that for more than maybe a week, but some people do that. And I think, but I think what you're saying is, I think she took advantage of that. She took advantage of her looks. She took advantage of the homeless. She's talking about faith. It's about to be my birthday. I got no friends and family. And people are like, wham, wham, wham. I'll send you money. I'm sorry. I feel bad for you. Right. But I think you're right. A girl and she's an attractive female and she knows it. And I think she played on that. And there's a lot of simps out here. That's a real thing.
So many.
Capital SIMPS, like simps. 99% of people send their money were dudes that were trying to get in her pants. You could stay here. You could stay with me. Come to St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? Come to Brooklyn. Like that happened. I'm sure her DMs were blowing up.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying about being hot. When you're a hot chick, and especially if it seems like you're finessing people, she would just finesse a few guys to stay in somewhere nice. Like you don't, when you're that attractive, you have access to a life that most us ugly people could never dream about. Like you have access to sources. There was a video I've seen about I forgot who the person was. It wasn't like a person that was really famous or anything, but she was able to basically get like a free day just going into places because, well, she kind of lied and said she was kind of important, but she looked good and she dressed well. And when you were able to do that, you can just walk in and get access to resources that I'm medium ugly. I'm not able to get into those kind of sources. So it's a little different.
Did you say medium ugly?
Yeah, medium ugly. Medium ugly. It's all right.
I never heard anybody say that.
I do well, damn it.
No matter. I think for guys it's different. Like we've talked about this. If you're a dude, if you got confidence, swagger, money, a combination of, if you got two of those three things, you can do just fine. Women, it's different. You got
to put in the work. You don't get handed to you where some people think a woman that looks that attractive is that natural thing. Us men, we gotta work. All right, that's just how the natural flow of things. Dasher Poppy says she's a YouTube panhandler.
That's a good point.
She has a pretty good Patreon following, and it's interesting. Tons of videos breaking it down. Again, you can't lie on the internet anymore, really. Like especially if you say, well, faith, and it seems like she's embracing the heel angle because the last picture of community post, she's like, even the haters, I hope you guys enjoy yourself. So she embracing it, which I rather just embrace who you are. You don't have to try to be overly religious and say peace. Like, hey, if you didn't want to deal with your kid because you didn't want to be you want to be a mother, cool. Like, fine. At least you're honest. At least if the allegations are true, you should not be around that child anyway. And
that's the thing. If the child might be better off with the dad. I think we have to understand. Like, we have to. We're in 2022, right? Women want equal everything. Men want this, want that. But then, like at the end of the day, like if it's me in my car, people ain't bagging on me if I leave my kid as much as they are bagging on her just because she's a woman. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and women are the ones showing her more hate than dudes. So it's like it's just a funny hypocrisy, I think. And I think at the end of the day, she's laughing at all y'all. And I know, based on my calculations, she's made at least $100,000 in a month. I'm sure of it. And she's laughing to the bank. And the more that people talk about her, the more she's going to make.
Well, yeah. And why did her video of all videos hit on YouTube?
That's how YouTube. Who knows that? Who knows?
Right.
I don't know.
Rico Dash says she may be a 6.9, but she's all mine.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that was funny. I like that one. I believe that she is deceiving people.
You think so?
I think it. She's not, and I see some other videos her trying to explain it. It doesn't follow a lot of logic.
Yeah.
Again,
I think you're right.
Every arrest records are public.
Yeah, I've been arrested though, so I can't. This is my thing. I think there's so many people on their high horse, and the hypocrisy. I use that word a lot because I think a lot of us are guilty of it. I'm guilty of it sometimes. I think Hannibal might be guilty of it. I bet the 26 of y'all are guilty of it. Be mad at me for saying it. I don't care. The hypocrisy on the internet is rampant, and it needs to chill because everybody can be tough behind a keyboard because nobody's going to see anybody. And I feel like a lot of these people bashing this woman who maybe it's rightful. I don't know. I think, like you said earlier, Hannibal, I think she didn't realize it was going to become this big thing. I think she's just playing around. You can't predict you're going to go viral in a month and have 87,000 subscribers.
It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Okay? That's not normal. Even if she had a tenth of her attention, that still wouldn't be normal. 8,000 subscribers in a month is ridiculous. Nobody does that in most spaces. So, but the hypocrisy behind all this and just the bagging on her and picking on everything. I've been arrested before. Twice in my life I've been arrested. Like, I got no problem saying it, but like at the end of the day, like, how many mug shots could we put up of the people in the comments? I bet a lot. So the hypocrisy of some of these human beings, it's just laughable to me. It just that's just how I look at it. And at the end of the day, like, do I think she stretched the truth on a lot of things? Absolutely. But some would say YouTube is entertainment and she's entertaining you guys. So why do you care so much? Because now she basically made probably 20 or 30 other content creators have monetized channels. And I see some of their videos and they're monetizing their videos talking about her. That's hypocrisy. To me, that's a hypocrite. You know, like, you're making money off her. So I just look at it like, let her be. She's going to fall off, and let her be miserable. Karma is a bitch. It's going to catch up to her. And that's it.
Yeah, I hear you. I think it's all entertainment. And once anything, and that's another YouTube angle, I think angle with media in general, when something is hot, then check it out. Let's check it out. And then if it goes wrong, which it has, because if it was just her being like, if everything she said was accurate, there wouldn't be much of a video. They'd probably researched her, see if that's her right name, see what her past is. And if it's all legit, then she'd be at probably 100,000, 200,000 subscribers. I mean, like, it would have kept going. But you can't lie on the internet. You really can't. It's really difficult because your past will catch up to you. So we'll see. I mean, now I'm more interested than I was before. Like, before, she was like, I'm homeless. Like, oh, another van video. I'm not interested. But now I may be a villain here. Okay, that's way more interesting now. So I'll keep up. And another YouTube creator, and he's not just a YouTube creator, he's just a content creator in general, that brings in the heat. He wants to be a heel. And I'm talking about Andrew Tate, that a guy that's basically banned. Oh, you got the cigar. You ready? You a Tate fan? Are you a Tate fan?
I'm gonna let you keep talking. Go ahead.
All right. So Andrew Tate, former kickboxer, pretty decent. Saw a few fights. Then he kind of went into the whole money-making guru space. I remember the first time I checked out Andrew Tate, not checked him out, but on Twitter, talking about how to make money. And he was selling courses on how to set up a cam girl business, how to get the girls, how to set up. So that was his whole angle. He was always trying to sell programs, pick up game, all that type of thing. And then somehow in the last, I don't know, couple of months, his social media game just blew up, where he was able to get on every major podcast. He was on it, and he was able to get a really lucrative business where he wasn't paying most of these people to do this necessarily. He was saying, hey, listen, I have a program called Hustler University. Take my most viral, stupid videos where me saying ridiculous crap, put them on YouTube, put them on Instagram, put your affiliate link in the description, and I'll give you money. And you know how affiliate links, if they grab it, they basically bringing the business to you. So he has this Discord of thousands and thousands of people, all paying monthly fees to be in the Hustlers University. We're supposed to teach you how to make money. I don't know. I ain't pay, obviously.
Yeah, I'm not in it.
His ability to bring attention is marketing genius. So I have a few clips just to give you an idea of, and it's not the most outrageous stuff, but some of the stuff that he comes out his mouth hole. It's about 2 minutes.
And before you play it, I want to say one thing. He doesn't have social media accounts. Other people, other people, mostly dudes, young males between 18 and 40 or whatever, they put out his information, and that's how he's become the most searched human being in the last year is Andrew Tate. I don't know if y'all knew that or not, but he has the most social media searches is this dude, and he's like came from nowhere. So go ahead and roll.
Yeah, play it. It's about 2 minutes. Let's see.
I have sons who are too busy buying NFTs and saying, oh, I made a little bit of money, and have skinny little arms and go to crypto conventions and be dorks. I will not have nerds as children. I refuse to have a nerd carry the name Tate. If my son is a nerd, one of us has to die, him or me, and I'll challenge him to Mortal Kombat.
Jesus Christ.
I'm home. My 4 wives are sitting there. They've seen on the news there's a new deadly contagion. Andrew, you need to wear a new deadly contagion. I pick up my sword. I am the commander of this house. I decide if there's a contagion. I decide what I do. Be quiet. Cook. Shh. Reality. If you're some fat dude and you just had a heart attack and I don't really know you, you're gonna die. I mean, if you're a really good friend, no, not even if you're a friend. You better, if you're my friend, you just can't be a pussy. Well, had a heart attack. Get the fuck up. What's wrong with you? Go to hospital later. Have a drink, cigarette, cup of coffee. Back in the game. Fucking having heart attacks near me, little pussy. So none of my friends would even have those kind of problems because I don't roll with fucking little bitches. But if you're some dude I don't know and you need CPR and everyone's looking at me, who knows CPR? Well, me. Help him. No. What? I'm at the guy's house. I've actually known him for a long time. I've known him since school. And we're sitting there chilling. And I was there for about 6 hours. And he's like, yeah, it'd be nice one day. Anyway, I'm hungry. You want something to eat? I was like, nah, I'm fine, bro. So he gets his ass up. He's a full-grown man. And he starts to cook himself something to eat. And everybody knows the age-old adage. Time is what?
Money.
Money. That's right. Time is money. You're going to spend time preparing food. The last thing you should be doing with your time is cooking. I can't think of a lower ROI activity. Ooh, an onion. Well, let me get the onion. I'm going to start cooking. Fridge. Ooh, an onion and some lettuce. Now, get a knife. Get my knife. Cut my onion. Start to cut my onion. You're broke! You're fucking poor!
So he just says the most outrageous things. And it goes from relationships to making money, calling people poor. He has said, hey, listen, if you don't have a Lambo, you're poor. Like, there's a lot of just...
No, Bugatti.
No, Bugatti, yeah.
Bugatti.
And it got to a point where, and again, he says a lot of, I think he's definitely, we call it conservative, but it's such too extreme. And then somehow, all the major social media platforms have banned him from existing. No Facebook, no Instagram, I guess YouTube. And that's what we want to talk about. Was this guy worth banning? Like, this is not Alex Jones, and I don't agree with any banning off any platform. Alex Jones said at one point that the Sandy Hook shooting was a false flag. It was not real. Still not worth banning, but that's just some weird shit to say. To be like, okay, and now he just lost a lot of money because the family sued him. Yeah. But Andrew Tate saying some outrageous, goofy stuff, is that worth being canceled? Like, tell me about it, Pedro.
I think we have to realize this guy is an asshole to many, okay, but extremely intelligent, extremely
genius,
a marketing genius.
Yeah,
the likes that we've never seen, and the reason for that is because the new age of the digital social media that we're in. Social media, you can make money online like no other time before. And he saw an opening, and he already had some money. These guys used to be broke, apparently. But at the end of the day, what you have to understand is people that have money, okay, they figure out a way to separate you from your money so you give it to them. Right. And that's what he did. So I can't knock the hustle. He says outrageous things. He does that. It's an act. The same way a comedian or an actor would say something to get likes and views and recognition and to be on the news or whatever. He does the same thing. He's saying outrageous things. You're broke. You're cutting an onion. It's funny. It's comedy. He's laughing to the bank. Okay. And some of the stuff, I mean, you pick some good clips, but there's a lot. And I've seen a lot.
So many. There's so many. He just says most outrageous things. And he's on every major live stream. He was on Tucker Carlson's show.
Yeah. Oh, well, I didn't know that.
That's 4 million views. 4 million people watch that show every night. And
he doesn't always say bad stuff.
No,
the mask stuff. He's a guy that's like, I'm not wearing a mask. Get out of here. I'm not believing your conspiracy. You know, he's not always wrong. And I'm just going to be the guy that you guys can hate. He is not always wrong. He says things that are ludicrous to get your attention, to pull you in. That's what smart guys do.
Yeah.
And then he'll hit you with some things that are like, damn, I don't like how he said that, but he's actually a little bit right. That's all he's done. He has more haters than lovers. But at the end of the day, when you hate somebody and you dislike them, you watch even more. So the people that don't like All In with Ari watch her more than the people that like her. And that's what these people do. Like, they understand that formula.
Like, if you have indifference, that's the worst thing, right? Like, I think Kanye said, at least if you didn't feel nothing, that'll be a problem. But at least you feel something. So that's
And
why
people feel something for him because he makes fun of people. He's talking about, oh, a guy had a heart attack. I told him I give him a coffee and a cigarette. I mean, it's an absurd thing.
It's so absurd.
No human being. So if you think that he's actually being real, you're an idiot, number one. And if I offended you, I'm sorry. But if you think that if you think that he believes that, he's playing to your idiocracy. Like, you have to understand these people and what they're for, what they're doing. And like, I think he's a fool. I would never be part of a university and buy something.
It's Hustlers University.
But the dude's worth like $500 million in like the last couple of years. So he's doing something
Andrew
right.
Tate has been in the marketing game for quite a while, a few years. I know he kind of blew up, but that takes years of tons of videos. I know he's been on reality TV shows now. He's not a super nice guy. He's been accused of some trafficking issues because of the cam business. So it's like he's, I don't know if that's going to materialize or alleged. I
don't know.
But he has some issues with the law that may happen. Pierre has a really good point. If Andrew Tate is the Howard Stern from the 90s, because Howard Stern, how he made his mark was being the shock jock, which is interesting now. He has sold the opposite. He's boring right now. Like,
I know.
He just interviews celebrities. It's not as interesting because back in the 90s, you would want to listen to Howard Stern.
I mean, he had the number one talk show on AM or whatever radio series or whatever.
Yeah, sound that big deal over there. He was the one talking to porn stars. Like now it's ubiquitous. It's like everyone's, but that was back then when you didn't listen. You didn't know what a porn star was talking about. Interesting. Like he had everybody in that show. He was friends with Trump. Like now he's not. But this man, Andrew Tate, I think, he grabbed the imagination by being so outrageous. But then, like I said, he had some good advice about, taking care of your body, being, making sure you're making some kind of money. Mm-hmm. I don't understand the banning at all, the whole deplatforming situation. And I still have the libertarian view of these are private companies. They can do what they want. But when does that break between freedom of speech? Well, he's not in jail for what he's saying. He's just like, I'm running a business and I don't want you in my business. But then why? Okay, how it goes from YouTube and then Facebook and Instagram? Like, wait, y'all all different companies. Y'all all just coming together? Because it sounds the same as
weird. Yeah.
Alex Jones. Alex Jones at one point got banned from everything. I'm like, wait a minute, y'all all, is this some kind of cabal? Is this some kind of conglomerate? Do you guys all talk to each other in the back rooms with the cigars and stuff and say, yeah, we don't want that guy on our platform anymore? It's kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? Listen, University.
Listen, I think, if somebody's willing to pay you for it, that's on them. And I think he figured out a way. The guy has casinos in Europe. He bashes America and Western society about how weak we are. But he's not always wrong. That's the thing. The hypocrisy, once again, we have to understand, like, he's talking about a lot of things that need to be talked about sometimes. And, it's hard to scrutinize somebody that is that successful, that literally came from nothing to something. And I don't know his history. I don't know if he was trafficking women. I know him and his brother had cam girls, and they took advantage of a situation because men are simps. We're scum. We're trash. We like women. And if you're pretty and you look at us, we want to give you our money. Like, he took advantage of that. But on the flip side, some would say, well, these women were also making money. So, like, it's just this whole, like, thing is just so odd to me. Do I think he should have been banned? No. And I would challenge you guys to look at he made a video after he got banned and what he's going to do.
But I heard it was really good.
You guys should check that video out. I think that video shows more about his character than the other clips of him being a clown and an asshole do. That's my opinion. That's just one guy's opinion.
Or being entertaining. I mean, that's what you say. Going back to just how the internet works and how these platforms work, you got to be entertaining, right? That's how you get the attention.
You have to be entertaining, and you have to understand. And I've said this before, like on my other channel and with friends. I've told Hannibal this a couple times. If you feel like you have something of value, you have to understand. It's just like in the music industry, right? Music, back in the day, we used to buy CDs and tapes. You'd have the A side and the B side. The A side was the radio friendly, to grab the people's attention, bop your head. Oh, I like this. I like this. Get the masses to understand you and get to know your name. And then the B side is actually you. that's your better song. That's your, it's good. It's more important. But
Mm.
people aren't going to get to the B side if they don't hear the A side first. And unfortunately, that's just how the world works. And I think that he's played that. And do I think he should have been
He
canceled
played
or
too much
whatever?
A side. It looks like
He
like
played a lot of A
went,
side.
he went
Yeah,
too.
he went too
probably
A side.
He should have scaled it back a little bit. But you don't know how 1 minute you're doing well, you're making millions of dollars a month, and then the next minute you're like, okay, we don't like that. Rico Dash came with a good comment. He's not always wrong, just flashy headlines. But that's the problem too. People don't look into. They look at the headline, get an emotional reaction to it. Don't watch the whole video or read the entire article.
Yeah.
Another really good comment from him, from Rico Dash, because he made a monopoly against AdSense. He told people to make reaction videos and clips of him to get clicks. It's like counting cards, not illegal, but banned by the House.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
But I can see why they'd be a little annoyed by that, because he's allowing his content without worrying about copywriting or flagging anyone. He's like, listen, I'm gonna help you guys make money, because that's all about is in AdSense. It's not necessarily a pyramid scheme, because I know a lot of people think about it. Maybe it's possible, because if you're only making money by you signing up to do the university, eventually you will run out of people to sign up, and you still got to pay your monthly fee. But it's not a downline, meaning that you don't necessarily get more money by necessarily people having underneath you. Like, it's not necessarily like you have people like employees underneath you. All you're doing is getting people to sign up. Once you get your sign up affiliate fee, that's probably it. There's no more connection to it. But eventually you will run out of people to sign up, but you probably don't lose money. You probably just like, okay, well, I guess the jig is up. I'm not going to pay the monthly fee anymore.
Yeah.
But apparently in this Discord, you are learning all the money-making strategies. There's people in there. I guess you probably get to talk to him a little bit. He's supposed to be teaching you how to be a hustler.
Yeah.
So if anyone in the comment section or in the live right now, are you in the Hustlers University? Let us know. Probably not.
I am not, but you know what? There's some of these people in that Discord or university that are paying for it. Maybe they're making money. If you're getting value from it, then it is what it is. I don't know. It's all about networking in there. Maybe I have no idea.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. You're supposed to learn about crypto. It's one of those programs where I'm just guessing. There's a lot of stuff you could probably get online or other courses, and they compile them all there. So probably like, all right, crypto. Well, you could probably go on YouTube and spend a few hours and learn about crypto, but he's going to tell you, I guess, probably a smaller version or a simpler version of that. That's what I'm assuming. I probably will not.
Some would say that, some would say, people that maybe if you're a conspiracy theorist, let us know in the comments if you are, right? There's some things that I'm a little like that about, but there's some that like, there's we're in this matrix, or it's a simulation, or this or that. So if you believe in that kind of stuff, he's breaking that. He's breaking the algorithm of things. He's shaking it up, and the people that have power don't like that. So maybe that's why they got together with their cigars, like Cannibal was saying a few minutes ago. And they're like, we got to get this guy out. Because people love it. That's what I'm saying. So anytime you have somebody that like shakes it up and is that radical, also with an amount of success, money, and following, history has shown us in this country, people have been assassinated for that kind of stuff, right? Like, it's there. So nowadays, the way to kill somebody is take their social media, right?
50, 60 credit type stuff.
50, 60 years ago, you would just whack somebody, or you would bury them alive, like Jimmy Hoffa or whatever, right? But now it's like, we're going to take your card. We're going to take your social media card, because that's the power in society right now, right? So think about the people in America that have been whacked, killed, silenced, right? They used to just go away. Now they might not go away, but they go away on social media. They take away your money, because that's how people make money right now if you're an influencer. And that's exactly what he is. He's the number one influencer in the world right now. I don't know if you guys know that. I know a lot of you guys don't know who he is. You're just finding out. He's the number one. He's bigger than Addison Rae, bigger than The Rock. You might not know him on that level, but the guy, his influence is surpassing
We're talking about him, so yeah,
we're talking about him, and we're nobody, right? So I think we have to understand, like he was saying things that were radical and absurd and ludicrous, right? But like, he was pissing some important people off, and he was making a lot of other people money. And some people that have power don't like that. That's my opinion. I think he'll wind up coming back in some fashion and doing some good things. I could be wrong. I hope I'm right. But at the end of the day, like, I think he has such a following that, and people are mad that he's got canceled. I don't believe in cancel culture. I just don't. I think there are a few things that if somebody does, you should be held responsible. But I think we got to stop like canceling people just because they don't fit an agenda.
Right.
Oh, we got to cancel them. I mean, that's ludicrous. Like this is America. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know what? I agree. I think the biggest problem that we are dealing with is how the internet has become so centralized. The internet, when we used to do, you know, be on, when I was 15, which is probably almost 20 years ago. Jeez. The idea
crazy,
that
right?
it was every web page is like its own world, their own forum, right? And then Facebook came in and said, "Oh, we're gonna connect all these other websites. So you don't even need to sign up for a new username and password. Just put in your Facebook account, and you can use this service. You can use that service, and Amazon too, and Google, to a point where they basically can effectively silence you because everything is so connected. Amazon basically owns parts of the internet where you have an app and have some servers. They own the servers. They can shut your app down and deal with the Parler app because it goes on Amazon Web Services. They own the servers to power the damn app for you.
And they listen. You guys have bought Amazon Echoes and Dots. And anytime you have a conversation about a refrigerator, the next day, all you do is get refrigerator ads on Google and TV. It's all connected. Like,
yeah. But let me ask you a question about influencing. Do you think that's a problem for someone to become successful? I'm not even talking about the canceling part, because I think we both agree. I think canceling based on views you don't agree with is not a healthy thing. Is it going to make it worse? You're going to make Andrew even a bigger deal. But the idea, even talking about with All In With Ari, that you need to be so provocative, so over the top just to grab people's attention. Like, is that something new or is it always there? Like, you have to be so ridiculous to get your basic message come across.
I think on some level it's always been there. I think we think now it's worse or greater, but the only reason we think that or know that is because our media that we consume is so much faster now, and all the information we get is quick, and we can know about more things quicker and about people quicker. But I think it's always been there. I think if you look at people that were famous or celebrities from years ago or whatever, like, it was always, you had to outdo the next person to get recognized. I think that's always been there. I think that's the human condition. So I haven't lived 100. I wasn't here 100 years ago or 1,000 years ago, but I think our minds have always thought like that. I think our minds have always had that, but I think now it's just easier to see a bigger amount of people use that part of their brain and part of their influence or part of their whatever, that now it's like we just see it. We're consumed every moment of our day just about is about that.
Yeah.
So I think it's just more in our face, but I think it's always been like that.
I hear that. And DoorDash Rick says, if we follow the rules of the apps, we won't be canceled, hopefully. and kind of going back to what I was saying, like my philosophy of, you own a business, you are allowed to use the business. But I just don't understand. If I'm running my business, unless like it looks like it's a storefront, like Amazon's a storefront and Facebook and YouTube, and we're all on the same block. And there's one guy breaking into the stores, and then we kind of come together to stop that guy. Like, but these are multi-billion-dollar conglomerate among themselves. How does he get banned from every single one in a week? Like, what's happening here?
That's weird.
That's weird.
But like I said, you guys can look this up, fact check me, because the internet's a weird place. I've heard things, but it doesn't mean that it's a fact, right? So do your own research, okay? But this guy was getting big. And he was the most searched and talked about human being on the face of the earth the last few months. Do you understand the power that is within that? Like, that is, so if you're somebody that believes the world's ran by a handful of human beings, all it takes is a few people to get together and to get rid of somebody like that in the way that they feel like they can. So I don't know. It's fun to talk about. It's fun to discuss. But
you are blowing my mind. I mean, I'm looking at both very provocative people. Going back with Alex Jones, Andrew Tate has said. Problem is, again, so many outrageous things, but there's some things that rang true. Like a lot, there are a few things that Alex Jones were talking about when we thought, well, at least me, I thought he was just a weirdo. That kind of came true. Now the problem is he said too many things that were not right, so it's hard. It's hard to figure out what's true and what isn't. But I think you have some good points there. So
let me ask you this, and I want to ask the chat. I know we're kind of winding down maybe here, but let me put my conspiracy hat on for a second, because this is something that I've actually know a little bit about, and I've researched a little bit. I'm not an expert, but John F. Kennedy Jr. Let me ask you guys. I'll ask Cannibal and the chat at the same time. Do you think JFK was assassinated by one human being and one human being only? Do you think that Lee Harvey Oswald was the only person that was involved in him being murdered?
No.
Okay.
So
that was a president of the United States assassinated in Texas. And many people, myself at least, that was a few people getting together saying, we need to get rid of this man because he doesn't fit our agenda.
Get Patsy to do he was a mastermind. He kind of sounded kind of slow. I remember that little clip. He just looked like dazed, confused. Was he drunk? I don't know. I mean, we go down the conspiracy rat hole here, and then this channel will not be here. We will be gone, and it'll just be us two, or at least me, my medium ugly ass, trying to log in. And
we're not big enough yet. We'll be okay. Nobody cares. We're good. We're just having a conversation.
But I think some of that stuff is true. I mean, it's really interesting. I guess if you want to be provocative, there's limits to the provocativeness, if that's a word. If that's a way to end things for right now. But man, you blew my mind there, man.
Limits.
I'm just talking about Lizzo's butt. Now I got to think about this conspiracy.
Hold on. Can we talk about somebody else? I mean, no. Listen, I don't hate Lizzo, but can we talk about
she's a big woman? You know what? All right, before we leave, I just wanted to say Lizzo's funny. She is hilarious. So one of my favorite shows, the Eric Andre show. She does a clip in there. Just type in Lizzo and the words bird up. And she has her flute. It's funny. I'm not into music. I'm not a big fan. I don't know too much of her tracks. But a few times she was on that show and she was funny.
It was a flute. I said harmonica earlier. You're right. It was a flute. She was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, flute. Yeah, the flute. She's in the middle of the street. I don't know how many security. She must have tons because she's outside. I don't think she may be in New York, just being a complete goofball, but it's funny. So I give her respect.
She's entertaining. She's absolutely entertaining. I mean,
we just don't want to see her butt.
I don't want to. I mean, I'm not gonna look away and discuss. It's cool. It's fine. But that's not my cup of tea. I'd rather see Ari's butt, but that's just me. I mean, I'm just saying.
Someone said it looked like mashed potatoes. But on that note, guys, I'm sure we're gonna have a lot to talk about next week. Maybe one of us will sign up to Hustlers University. What do you think, Pedro?
I'm good. I'm broke. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm broke too.
I ain't signing up for that. I don't know. I'm not smart enough. I'm good.
All right. Fair enough. All right, guys. This was a fun one. Thank you guys for hanging out with us on your way out. If you liked what you heard and what you saw, hit the like, share amongst your friends. I'm going to try to take some of the clips out so you guys who may not be interested in one of the topics could be watching the other topics. So we can try to bring more content. Pedro's doing shorts now. So we're going to bring more content to you guys. So definitely appreciate you guys for coming through and sticking around for a good amount of the show. I really see the numbers are going up, man.
Yeah. Appreciate Pia and Bobby. Oh man, I'm going to say your name wrong. Kuala. How do you say that, Hannibal? Maybe you better.
Kuala. She'll let us know.
Matt, Rico, Rick. Goddess, Delivering with Ellen, Northern Pikes, Bobby, all the regulars. Appreciate y'all for being here. It really means a lot to us. Hannibal and I love Wednesdays because it's just two idiots talking crap, and we enjoy it. So
yeah, and we'll see what next week. Is the NFL season picking up, right? Yeah,
I think it's basically. I think the first game's on a Thursday, right? Like the 8th or something. I'm gonna be super excited.
Yeah, your Giants may go 0-17, but your Giants, your
Giants will go.
There's no way they're gonna go. We'll see. We'll see on that. All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out with us, and we'll see you guys again next week.
Peace.
Peace.